يابا انا قاعد اكلمك من جوبا بسيم. افتح الواتس تبعه قول له وين، شوف كيف القتله، شوف كيف قتلك بيدي يابا، ابنك قتل يهود، هاي دخل بسيم يابا.
الله اكبر، ربنا يحميك يا رب، ربنا يحميك يابا، ربنا يحميك يابا.
قاعد اكلمك من جوال يهوديه قتلتها وقتلت جوزها.
الله اكبر، الله اكبر ولله الحمد. يما يحميك يما، طول الليل
10 بيدي يما، 10 يما بيدي قتلت.
ربنا يرحمك بالسلامة يما.
ربنا يرحمك يما، بعمل لك تبص مباشر من جوا.
شايلك يما، طول الليل انت وانت معاك
يما. ربنا يحميك يما. اقتلك.
ربنا يحميك يما، خذ يما.
Das Erste, was einem auffällt, ist der Geruch. Es riecht nach Blut.
The first thing that strikes you is the smell. It reeks of blood and burnt flesh, even though the massacre perpetrated by terrorists and civilians from Gaza occurred 3 weeks ago already. Humans were burnt alive, shot in the head, or killed in other horrific ways that defy description.
Andere Weisen ermordet, die man gar nicht in Worte fassen mag.
The scene is one of utter devastation. The stench is overwhelming. What makes it even more horrifying is the contrast. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, and flowers are blooming.
Schwer zu beschreiben.
I struggle to describe it. The pictures don't come close to conveying the horrific reality of what happened here.
Der Anblick in Kfar Aza ist aber auch deshalb so brutal realistisch.
The sight in Kfar Aza is shockingly real.
Vollkommen zerstörten, zerschossenen, abgebrannten Wohnungen hinein.
As you enter these completely destroyed, shot up, burnt down apartments, you see weight benches belonging to young men or dressing tables and closets filled with the clothing of young women who just wanted to live their lives.
Von jungen Frauen, die da einfach nur
Most of the residents had been advocates for peace with the Palestinians, and now they're dead, murdered.
Man läuft hier einfach nur.
Walking through this place feels almost disrespectful. You're treading on the remnants of private lives.
Hier führt eine lange Blutspur bis ins.
A long trail of blood leads to the bathroom, ending in the shower cubicle. These are deeply disturbing scenes. In front of me is a blood-soaked mattress with pillows, both stained with blood.
Alles voller Blut.
Something unspeakable happened in this apartment.
Was man wahrscheinlich.
Something one would wish to forget.
Während den Anfängen
The phrase, resist the beginnings, has become hollow because nobody really wanted to resist. Many Israeli politicians were asleep at the wheel, and Europe and America indirectly financed Islamic terror.
diesen Terror indirekt mitfinanziert.
For decades, they demanded the obstruction of an effective fight against Palestinian terrorism, even when it was urgently needed.
Terrorismus ausgebremst wurde.
The murders of 1,200 people could have been prevented if action had been taken earlier.
400 Ermordeten.
The brutal hostage takings could have been avoided.
Es hätten nicht nur
And of course, the civilians now dying in Gaza, in this war initiated by Hamas, would not have had to die either.
ums Leben.
If Europe and America had learned that appeasement has historically proven ineffective,
Wenn Europa
all of this could have been prevented.
sich historisch als fast nicht umsetzbar erwiesen hat. Appeasement, immer nur zu sagen, ja,
Appeasement often means nothing more than continuing to talk, hoping the other side will eventually relent. If only people would remember that Neville Chamberlain couldn't stop Hitler with appeasement. If only they realized that this kind of diplomacy has only strengthened radicals, then perhaps we would understand that a different approach is needed with those who promote, train, and fund terror in the region.
mit denen, die den
I am talking about the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is behind much of the bloodshed in the Middle East.
zahlen. Die Rede ist natürlich vom iranischen Ayatollah-Regime. Das Einzige, was ich auf jeden Fall sagen kann, ist, dass ich dem Bösen
I have to conclude that I have looked evil in the eye. It's one thing to visit museums filled with artifacts from times before you were born. But it is another to be in a place where everything still smells of burnt flesh, because the killing happened not long ago, where there's blood on the streets, and where you might accidentally step on a bullet shell.
und wo alles nach verbranntem Fleisch riecht, weil es erst so kurz her ist.
It's also different when we talk about a horrific genocide from the past, which everyone recognizes and condemns, versus a genocide that occurred just days ago and is still ongoing. Hamas has not renounced its deadly, inhumane ideology.
Denn die Hamas hat
Of course, everyone condemns the atrocities of the past. No one wants to sympathize with historical radicals. But when it comes to what Hamas is doing today, there's often a yes, but that follows. It's as if saying,
tote Juden
dead Jews? Yeah, sure, you can sympathize with them. But when Jews fight back against being slaughtered, people in Europe and America become uncomfortable. Jews who resist and who don't sit still don't seem welcome in Western societies. And I am not sure what that says about us.
Das weiß ich nicht. Das weiß ich nicht.
We will meet again.
Und dann
And then in a video with less horrific footage.